Well, right now, Sean Lane here on Pro Wrestling Enforcer, and right now we're going to welcome Mackenzie Morgan to the PWE Report, independent professional wrestler. We welcome her onto the show, and she's featured at Championship Wrestling from Memphis. She's out there in Tennessee, and for the past couple of years, this is where she started out. And we've also seen her at Third Coast Wrestling in the Chicago area, Second Wrestling, Honor Among Wrestling, and we've also seen you on Ring of Honor as well. And there's other, a lot of other promotions you've worked for as well. So, and I think you have one coming up, TWE, on October 12th. So,
yep.
Yeah, welcome on the PWE Report. Hope you're doing good.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Is this a wrestling room?
Yeah, well, it's like my bedroom, so I got a lot of wrestling stuff there.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Thank
Are
you.
you a huge Punk fan? Who's your top three?
Me? My
Yeah.
top three? I mean, I like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels and yeah, probably CM Punk is number three. But I'm from Chicago area. But those are like my top three or four. I'm a big Sting fan too.
Really, Sting?
Yeah. Yes, big Sting fan. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. How about you? Any of those your top three?
Top three in the whole entire world. I will go to bat for. If I wasn't a wrestler, I would make a stand account for. It was Mercedes Moné, Bailey, and Kylie Ray.
Nice.
Those three have always been like kind of like the strong suit of who I am and what I like to watch. And I don't know, they've always just made me feel seen somehow when like they're on my screen. So that's kind of what I want to be, is like,
okay,
if you melt all of them into a pot, it would be me. So
all right, sounds good.
oh yeah,
I appreciate you. I mean, there's so many great wrestlers out there, so it's just like
absolutely.
I feel like you're not doing the rest justice.
Yeah,
I mean, only three of them, but yeah, those are on the top of my list. And yeah, we appreciate you being on PWE Report, and hopefully everything's going well. And we know that you had a busy past month, right?
oh yeah, I've been out and about, which is a really good thing. Things are kind of slowing down a little bit, but wrestling has its ebbs and flows. I'm just going to use this time to kind of like recover and spend time with my loved ones, and kind of just take a deep breath and keep pushing. Like they say, like, you don't want to, what's the comparison, like someone with a car, and you don't want to go full speed to your destination, or the car will burn out and everything. So just taking things slowly, but also at a very good rate for me. So I'm having the time of my life. I actually today got to watch my best friend's kid play soccer, and she was the coach. I've been tweeting about that lately, because I finally have time, like, to kind of breathe and like enjoy the people around me, and kind of spend time with my family. And I consider her my family. So it was very cool. She was coach mom. So nice. It was awesome. It's very cool.
That's great. And then talk about, professional wrestling when you discovered it until now. How did it become a big part of your life?
Well, it was it was like Undertaker rolling his eyes backwards. Kind of scared me. I'm not into like a lot of spooky things. I'm not really into Halloween, like the scary part of Halloween. Like, I used to dress up as like Danica Patrick and SpongeBob and stuff like that. But that kind of like spooked me out. I'm like, well, what the heck? I'm like, he's just like doing this and whatever. But the Muppets, I remember the Muppets with Seamus. And I don't remember the guys. I have terrible memory. I'm so sorry. But with the red hair, not with the red hair, but the Muppet with the red hair. And that's like one of like the first core memories of wrestling. Like, I watched it before, but there was no like core memory the way like the Muppet was. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I always say the Undertaker and the Muppet, but also like I'll be watching some old stuff and be like, oh dude, yeah, I remember that. So, but the Muppets, do you know why? Because they were silly. I
Yeah.
like
Nice, nice. Yeah, I do remember that, what you're referring to as well.
yeah, I would go like to school like the next day. Dude, did you see Monday Night Raw? Did you see SmackDown? Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And then like when kids stop watching wrestling and like you're the only one and
Mhm.
like you have nobody to talk to about wrestling, like you have nobody to relate to. That was like the terrible part of my life because there was like at a peak where everybody was watching wrestling, and then all of a sudden like they dropped off, and I'm like, guys, did y'all not see like Randy Orton just hit this sick RKO, and they're like, no, oh,
Right.
okay. So that's kind of how it was. I played sports too. No one ever
Mhm.
talked about it, but here I am in
Right.
a wrestling circle, and I get to talk about wrestling, and I get to watch wrestling, and I get to be here with you, Sean.
Yes.
And
For
I'm
sure.
I'm having a blast doing it.
That's
It's very
great.
cool to meet people. So, and I like you. Look at that
Oh,
twinkle in your eye. You're very sweet.
thank you. Well, I wanted to talk about the traveling in professional wrestling. That has not probably been easy, right? So where do you think you've gotten to go for the past couple of years?
Where what?
Where have you gone the past couple of years
Where have I
in due to
gone?
wrestling?
Oh, so um traveling is a very crazy thing that I'm still learning, like traveling hacks and everything. And I've slowly like kind of I've gotten the hang of it, but also like there's still a lot of things that I don't know. And because I feel like I'm doing part of this on my own because like there's nobody in this area who's kind of like taking me under their wing because there's not a lot of people in this area. They're about 4 or 5 hours away, but yeah, like gas and everything, having to get gas at like a podunk town at night. I'd be so scared. I have a machete in my car just in
Oh,
case.
wow.
Like get to so I don't have a gun, but I have like a machete. So if they have long hair, they're getting it cut off. But it's traveling is very fun. I've gone to Iowa, I've gone to Chicago a lot of times. I've gone to Detroit. Um, where else have I gone? Indiana. It's pretty fun. It is very tiring. And like I said, like I'm getting the hang of it, but there's still a lot of things that I need to learn.
Right. Hopefully, you'll get to fly one day.
Yeah.
Or
I just
both.
I do fly when I go to Chicago, I do fly because my car
Okay.
has a lot of miles on it. And I've learned like this is something that I learned that the Nashville airport is cheaper than the Memphis airport. And so like if I type in all of like the prices and everything, it's cheaper for me to go to Nashville and fly to Chicago than it would be driving to Chicago or for me flying out of Memphis. So I go to Nashville and
Okay.
but it's a very cool thing because then like on the way back from Nashville, like kind of debriefing, wow, like that was an awesome time. So um that's one thing that I learned. Nashville is a little bit cheaper than Memphis.
Well, that's a nice little travel hack.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's gotta help. And I heard that another interview or something as well about Tennessee. One is cheaper than the other. I heard that. I think it was like the AEW podcast or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people were flying out of there.
Out of
Uh,
Memphis. Wow. Hmm. I didn't because I would have thought Memphis was cheaper because it's Memphis International Airport.
right.
But what is being a Nashville Airport? I don't know, but it's B&A is Nashville, and for me, it's cheaper. I'm sure, like I don't know.
Right.
Like I said, I'm still learning, but right now it's cheaper for me to fly to Nashville.
Okay. Now, travel besides traveling, talk about places that you want to go to.
I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Texas. I kind of, I guess you'd say grew up, but I watched a lot of indie wrestling in Texas, reality of wrestling, the Texas Pro. Um, I think that's where I saw Kylie Ray, Lane Luck. I know that's where I saw Hyan, AQA, Roxy, also known as Roxanne. And I'm sure I'm missing some too, but Texas is like one place that I really, really, really want to go to, especially reality of wrestling. I think that would
Yeah.
be cool. I know like when I talk to some of the boys, like we'll just be talking about, this company or that not in a bad way, but this company, that company, like how cool like this looked, how how Dreamwave had like pyro, like little things like
Right.
that. And I always end up saying like, man, like those people in Texas, like what do they feed those Texans? Because they are good. Like I don't know, a lot of the Texas wrestlers that I've watched, I'm like, holy cow, like they are like they're in a different zone, dude. Like
Right.
whatever they're eating in Texas, I want some of that. So, yeah, those Texans for sure. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, and Chicago, but I've wrestled in Chicago, but that's another place like freelance for sure. I think that would be a very cool experience for me.
Yeah, for sure. Especially Kylie Ray. I know you
Yeah,
mentioned her a couple times, so
yeah.
hopefully
She's
you get hopefully you'll get a match with her one day. Is
I
that your
hope so.
dream?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And so, talk about who you are in the ring. Like, it seems like you are who you are in the ring, who you are in real life. They're pretty similar, right?
Yes. Yeah, I get to be silly and I get to be goofy and I get to be
Hmm.
myself. And that's like the coolest thing is like, I always tell like the young girls, I'm like, just be you. You know what I'm saying? Like it, the whole world could be on fire, just be yourself. And um I think I'm a very good representation of what it's like being yourself because sometimes being myself does get me in trouble, but I just like to laugh and I like to play and I like to have fun. And like doing that in front of people and making them forget about their problems, their real world problems is awesome to me.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of my teachers would be like, "Oh, well, you're a character, you're a character." And I'm like, "Well, whatever that means." And I guess they were right,
Right.
because Mackenzie Morgan is a character on whatever, if you consider us characters, I'm a character on whatever wrestling show that, you're watching. So, um, I'm just being myself. I'm having a good time being myself. It almost feels freeing, like I'm not um I'm not like this masked version of myself. If anything, I'm like 10 times more free, if that makes sense. Like I know sometimes I'll catch myself on Twitter just typing out like random things because it's on my mind and
Right.
it just I think that's very cool. So I don't like I don't know. I don't like not being me because I just feel like very awkward.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. Life is very cool.
That's good. I'm glad you have a very fun personality.
Thank you.
Very bright. So,
Thank you.
and now when you started training to be a professional wrestler, now what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome?
That's a very good question. What are the obstacles? Um, I think one thing is and I'm still kind of going I guess it never ends because a lot of people have it, but it's body dysmorphia. And like
Mhm.
sometimes I'll be comfortable in my body, and then sometimes like I'll be next to one of the big jack guys who like the meatheads, and I'm like, wow, like I look like a small fry. But then I realize like, oh, I'm not a part of like whatever they're doing. I'm part of this
Mhm.
division right here. And then it's just body dysmorphia and not feeling big enough. That's like been number one. And I tried to hide being a wrestler from my mom for a long time, and then she found out, but that's about it.
Wow.
It kind of it felt like home when I started training, you know. Another obstacle like right now is like a lot of drama. Like people, I don't like to as much as I like to talk and have fun, I don't like to be around negativity. I hate
Right.
negativity. And like when people are having fun talking bad about somebody or something,
Mhm.
because I don't want to be around, I don't want to be like around that circle of blah blah blah, and then they be like, oh well, Mackenzie, yeah, no. So like a lot of talking, too much talking sometimes. I don't like that. That's an obstacle because
Right.
sometimes shut up, but I can't like, but I can't say shut up. So I just kind of like awkwardly walk that way. But
Sure.
yeah, that's been a big challenge. And just trusting myself. Like, when I say that, I'm talking about like, I guess it's trusting yourself. It's more so like, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? Should I reach out to this company? But what if they don't like me? And it's something like that. And it's like, you don't get, time is a dictator. And sometimes I feel like I'm too nervous to reach out to this company. And
Mhm.
that's one of the, that's a really big thing for me. It's like, dude, stop stop being that way. Cause that's not how
Yes.
you grow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
me just going to the same three companies and kind of putting myself in this box of being comfortable when I could be out everywhere being myself and spreading more joy and spreading more positivity and whatnot. I think that's a big obstacle too. I guess
Mhm.
that's believing in yourself and trusting yourself.
Right. I'm sure you'll conquer that within
I
time.
hope so.
I don't think anybody really gets to pass on that. I'm sure a lot of people feel that. So
Yeah.
especially you're kind of putting yourself out there as a performer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
But
other,
it's fun. So
yeah. And then did you like imagine you would be where you're at today? Was there a
uh
part of you growing up being like, oh, I'll have my own shirt, I'll have my own merch, I'll have my I'll be wrestling a couple different states. Like just at this point, did you ever think about it?
yeah, like I think it's so cool. Like when I look at old pictures, I have a picture of that I'm looking at right now of me and my one of my best friends. And I would always talk to her. I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm gonna be a wrestler, I want you to be my tag team partner. I would just talk so much about wrestling, and then I'd be like, so like if I get famous, like, are you gonna tell everybody or what? And I think it's so cool. Like I get to follow my dreams. She talks about how kind of proud she is that I'm kind of following my dreams. And yeah, me and a couple of people were talking about it on the way to Third Coast, about how not everybody gets to do what we do and not everybody gets
Right.
to follow their dreams. Um, so being able to travel the world and I don't know, just put smiles on faces, like that's always been the dream. That's always been the goal.
Yeah.
Make people forget,
Hmm.
make people feel good, feel welcome. So I think that's pretty cool. And the 12-year-old version of myself, the 16-year-old version of myself, like all the old versions of me would be very proud of what I am doing. And, my mindset too is kind of like, um, where was I going with this? Sorry.
You're
Um,
right.
my mindset is like, it would your 16-year-old self buy an action figure of you, or You know, would your 16-year-old self be proud of who you are? Would she be a fan? And that's kind of how I base like my wrestling and kind of stuff off of, but also like it's just me being myself and me being happy. So really like a facade either.
Definitely. Well, I think you've really kind of established yourself in a short period of time. You've had championship wrestling from Memphis. Can you talk a little bit how you've adapted yourself there
Oh
or
yeah.
established yourself there? Yeah.
Oh, Derek is my coach is just texting me right now. He said he wants me to call him. I'm not sure what it is. I'll give him a call later. But I went to a show because I don't remember. It was like a banquet hall or something that they ran in. And then I went up to Dustin and I was like, hey, like, can I train? He was like, sure. So I started training and it was very fun. Alan Steele, man, that's my guy. That's like my wrestling dad. Derek King, also wrestling dad, like King Cobra, wrestling dad. It's very awesome. It's very cool. Like anytime I have a problem, like I text one of them. I know it blow Alan's phone up a lot. I love him with the bottom of or from the bottom of my heart. Like I'm gonna rip my heart out of my chest and give it to Alan because he has helped me overcome so much. He's given me such good advice. Um, I love and he's not a trainer there anymore, but I do text him and I do send him matches and keep up with him. And Derek too. Derek, he is the man. He's very what's the word? He would have been my best friend in high school, I would say. Like we would have been like, oops. He's so cool and I love him. He makes me laugh a lot. So I love Derek.
It's great. And you find like it's tough to keep up with them over time, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. King Cobra too. King Cobra is I guess they call him like the captain at the training facility, but he's like he gives such great advice to when I have an opponent, I ask him, I'm like, hey, can you watch like he watched Ashlynn Alexander with me. Hey, can you watch Ashlynn Alexander with me? Yeah. And then he'll be like, well, you should do this to get underneath here, or you should do this because I'm like, huh, I would have never thought about that. So he kind of, if I ever win a match, especially if it's a smart way, let's all thank King Cobra.
Okay.
He's the man.
Nice. That's great. You have people to trust with that. And I did want to mention, since you mentioned her, Ashlynn Alexander, you faced her
Oh
at Third
yeah.
Coast. That was a first time matchup, I believe. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that match? And would you like another opportunity with her?
Absolutely, positively. Um, she was very cool. I've watched her at Third Coast and St. Louis Anarchy,
Right.
and you know she's one of the ones, the power rough girl. That girl is tough for real. Uh, she hits hard and only makes me tougher too. So I really enjoyed the match with her. I did not come out victorious, unfortunately. She beat me, but I'm very confident that if me and her go face to face again, I'm gonna be the one victorious. So,
Right.
but she's very sweet and she has cool tattoos.
Oh
So I'm not gonna trash talk Ashlynn. But she's very cool and she did beat me. And you know, all respect to you, Ashlynn, for beating me. But next time it ain't gonna be that way. It's gonna be MKZ getting the 1, 2, 3.
yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
Right.
Um, so, but yeah, Ashlynn was very. I learned a lot. That's what I
Right.
should say. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my strength as well.
Definitely. And I know you had Shazza McKenzie last year. And so it's
Yeah, it's second
Mackenzie,
wrestling. Oh
Mackenzie and
yeah.
Mackenzie.
Heartbreak Core. Yeah.
So
She just won the Third Coast Wrestling,
yeah.
the Iron Maiden.
Shieldmaiden.
She,
Shieldmaiden.
oh my God, did I say?
Iron Maiden. I love it.
See, my memory is terrible.
No worries.
Isn't that a band?
Yeah, it's a band.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah. She's great though. Heartbreak Core. Um, I remember when I met her. I don't know. I want to ask her about kangaroos, but I'm sure she gets tired of hearing about kangaroos.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I wrestled her at Second Wrestling. That was one of like the earlier parts of my career. I think I wrestled her in July. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. I guess it was 8 months in then.
Yeah, wow.
Wow. Well then yeah. But I did wrestle her and I see her around a lot and I watch a lot of her matches and she's pretty cool, man. And let me tell you something, Shazza McKenzie. I'm the better Mackenzie, you know it.
Well,
But she looks pretty in pink though, for real.
yes. Yeah, she's the ultimate opportunist. That's how I
She
got.
is.
Yes.
She's very, very, very smart. She's got a lot of years underneath her belt.
Mhm.
Wrestled a whole lot of different people from continent to continent, you know, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So she's got a noggin, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Got something in there.
Did you
Um,
ever see her match? I don't even bring it up much to other people. I brought it up to her. She wrestled Shayna Baszler at Shimmer.
I've not seen that one.
Oh, you gotta see it. I have the DVD.
Do you think it's on YouTube?
It's probably not. The promoter, he has his own like streaming website, unfortunately. So they keep a lot of those some of the matches you can find free. I don't know if that one is one of them.
Shazza versus Shayna. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, she was Shazza McKenzie during the match. Her head busted open, the
Oh
back
my
of her head.
God.
Yeah, and she was bleeding.
I would have started crying.
I want to do is I'll video record it and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I want to see that. I'm glad
But,
she's okay.
yeah, that was a long time ago too.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine like picking my stuff up and like going to a whole different country. Like, all my respect goes to her, dude. Like that's freaking awesome. And I don't know, she always has a smile on her face too.
Yeah.
So um she's very respected in my book.
Oh
Uh
yeah.
and she can do the splits too. So that puts double respect in my book.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think she's one of the best. So
Oh
can't
yeah.
can't really doubt her being that champion. Holding that
Oh
belt.
yeah.
And then overall with Third Coast Wrestling, I know you had a match with Noelle. So talk about that. I know she wasn't your favorite opponent to get in there with.
No, she hurt my elbow. I had to put a lot of Tiger Balm on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Tiger Balm loves to see me coming because it makes so much money off of me. But I went to the gym and did like some tricep exercises and whatnot and forearm exercises to kind of strengthen it up,
Right.
strengthen it back up. But yeah, so I feel like Noelle has put a curse on me because yesterday when I got home from the gym, I tried to open the door to my house and it was like 11 o'clock at night. Tried to open the door to my house and it was locked. And of course, I was the one who locked it from the inside out and I didn't have the key. So I went to the garage and I opened the garage and I tried to go in the garage door. But the door wouldn't open. The battery died on the
Oh
pad.
wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God. And it was dark in my garage too. And I swear to you, I was literally shaking. Like, me being afraid of Noelle is like, it's not like a little jokey joke or anything. Like I said earlier, like I don't like haunted stuff. And like that type of stuff scares me. Like even Bray Wyatt, his stuff and the Wyatt Six and everything. Man,
Yeah.
like Bray Wyatt, he used to have some or he had some good promos, but man, like that stuff kind of scared me. And I don't know. I'm a very scared person, I would say.
So so Noelle is kind of like you're gonna see her in the ring, and then you see outside the ring, it's the same person.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it's very insane. Like, and I have very like I had nightmares a lot growing up, and I still do like have nightmares, and like all I can imagine is like her face paint, like tilting her head and like barking at me. It's like I don't want to think of. So I watch a lot of kids shows after I wrestled her because I don't want to think of that. I want to think of the good stuff. And
right.
like so it's a little childish, I guess, for me, but I'm very scared of that. And I don't want like nightmares, and I don't want the monster under my bed like coming to attack me. Like I still sleep with the light on. And
Yeah.
especially I slept with double lights on after wrestling her. But you know, I signed the contract. I guess she signed her, or maybe she licked her hands before, you know,
Yes.
using the pen. Ugh, and signed it. So I had to wrestle her. Um, I lost, but hey, you know, there's not. I didn't get anything good out of it because I still have nightmares.
Oh,
So,
poor
so
Mackenzie.
yeah, and I think she told me on Twitter one time, it's
Uh-oh.
like spooky season. I think she likes spooky season. I think her or Jensen like tweeted like that to me. And
Okay.
I don't like spooky season.
You just want to get through this, right? As quickly as possible. Can you
Yeah.
give me just a moment? I have to just reconnect something. I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Okay. So, but hey, what would you say you learned the most from Noelle? What was there anything positive? Anything that you could take your future?
Protect
No.
my arm more.
What's up?
I would protect my arm more. Um,
Okay.
protect my arm. Let's see. What did I learn from Noelle? She's like I can't even like express how scary she is. Like I was freaked out, man. Like I I did my very best and I put my
Right.
best foot forward, but she really got the best of me. I guess things like sometimes you'll just have to face your fears, you know, like
Right.
you're scared of heights. Sometimes you'll just have to get up there and just like get on a roller coaster and yeah, you can still be scared afterwards and like not want to do it again. Um,
Right.
but I'd like she's very scary. I I I'm just gonna protect my arm from her. She's smart too. That's what I've learned is because I would imagine she watched some of my other matches back with my elbow and she kind of attacked that. So like I said, protect my arm more. She's not just some puppet or marionette, just a marionette. Like she too has a little brain inside of her.
Hmm.
You know, she's not a tin man.
Right.
So um yeah, I don't like Halloween and I don't
Mhm.
like and like they're just aligned right now and
Yes.
it's like my head is on a swivel. Yeah,
Yeah, get
like
that machete ready.
yeah, I swear.
Sharpen it up. And so I want to also ask you about how do you measure your success in professional wrestling personally? Would it be like the fans' reaction? You know how the matches are.
Um, that's a very good question. I've never even like maybe I should start thinking that way. I've never thought about that, but like success is you could in different areas, let's just say for the fans, like, for example, like to me, being successful is like for the fans at least, is them coming up to me and almost like having a regular conversation, like, like the way you and I like talk, like
Mhm.
having that connection
Yeah.
almost. I think that is to me that is success because sometimes sometimes it can be intimidating to talk to somebody or even want to take a picture. So someone coming up to me and asking for a picture, even when I'm just vibing somewhere else, it's like, yeah, like absolutely, like them
Hmm.
not being afraid to, I guess, meet somebody that maybe they enjoyed in the
Hmm.
ring, you know, um, or like I think it's very cool and I feel very accomplished when um someone will like come to the Memphis shows and like they'll wear the headband and the MKZ t-shirt, It's like, oh, who she's dressed up for. It's
Hmm.
like Mackenzie Morgan. And like it's a little thing too, but like my mom reposting my stuff on Facebook because she never really liked wrestling or like supported me wrestling until I actually started doing it and having matches. Like when she reposted, I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
I feel like I made it. And like also another thing too is like the people you meet along the way. Like I always talk about Adam Priest, Shug
Hmm.
D, Darian Bankston, Laney Luck. Like I want to be kind of at that level where it's like they can just go. You
Right.
know, I feel like they can literally roll out of the bed and just go put on a 30-minute match. And that's kind of where I want to be. And being able to pick their brains, being telling them to watch my match and like them critiquing me, or like at the show, like them critiquing me right after the match. It's like, oh, like that. I guess that's almost like, okay, I can get better. I'm gonna get better because not only did
Hmm.
you take the time to watch my stuff and like help me, but also like it almost feels like you care because you're giving me or they're giving me like very good advice, like very
Right.
sound advice. So to me that's what it is. Everybody wants a contract. Do I want a contract? Absolutely. But I can't be hell bent on one thing when I can literally take pride in a whole lot more things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But do I want a contract? Yes, but all of that will equate into that one contract. I would say.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's what success is. Or like sometimes like a new person will start training, and I guess they'll like I get it being new and like not want being shy and whatnot. Um, but them like asking me like, hey, can you help me with this? It's like, yeah, I can try. Like
Hmm.
yeah. So that's pretty cool. But I've still got a whole, you know, I've got a whole road ahead of me. And so right now, do I feel successful? Yes, but I don't feel like a mega star. Like I would still say that I'm very humble and like
Right.
I know I'm still, we call it green, I guess. I'm very new and like still learning myself. So picking brains and everything and knowing that I am trying to get better like that. I know I'm on a path to success.
Right. Definitely. That's a great answer. And then, talk about from where you started till now, your journey of fulfillment as a pro wrestler. Like, how would you define that?
Um, on the way back from shows, when I kind of get to debrief, um, or seeing your calendar, being filled up, I think, hold on, I'm sorry.
No worries.
He sees my kindergarten teacher. God, I'm so sorry. Y'all, I'm on an interview right now. What are y'all? Give me a couple minutes. There, I love y'all. That's crazy. I love y'all. I love you. Thank you. You're gonna make me cry again. I love y'all. Okay, so that is almost like I'm gonna start crying. That's like I'm gonna start crying.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like an emotional little girl. But that's almost like that's what makes me fulfilled is oh my God, what girl? That was Derek. He just saw my kindergarten teacher. I don't even know, they don't even know each other. But yeah. Because she follows my wrestling journey too.
Okay.
Kind of made my day.
Nice.
But
Mm.
yeah, that makes me feel good. Like, you know, always talking about wrestling and knowing that I'm actually doing it, and everybody else who I talk to wrestling about like sees me, like that's what keeps me going.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I feel that fulfills me. That makes me feel whole. Um Meeting having different opponents fulfills me. A lot of things like sometimes wrestling, like it's a love-hate thing, because sometimes you're like, what's with all the drama when we can all just be happy? That's kind of my mentality.
Right.
And a lot of things fulfill me. Like, you know, I love Laney Luck. I love watching her matches, and
Yeah.
it's little things like her commenting nice drop kick. Like, what, me? Because I would watch her like before I even started wrestling. Like,
Oh,
I would
really?
watch her matches. I would be in class like writing about her matches. And like, it's like, you think I have a cool drop kick? No, you have the better drop kick. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
I think that's very cool. And that kind of makes me happy. And obviously I'm an emotional little girl. So I don't know. There's so much negativity in this world when all we can do is just like be thankful and be very, very
Mhm.
happy. And that's kind of, you know, it's kind of what I do. I feel like I'm always hungry too. Like I do want more, but I'm very thankful, because things could be all things could be worse.
Right.
Like I support St. Jude um a lot, and just knowing that there are kids in there who in the hospital who aren't really able to go out to the real world
Right.
and real world things. It's like, when we take things into perspective, of course, like we should be fulfilled. Like I said, I want more. I'm always gonna want more. I'm always gonna want to learn, but like I can't be angry at the world. Like, because I know
Right.
there are a couple people who are just angry, mad, mad, mad. It's like, no, dude, like relax. Like, and sometimes I do get that way, but it's very nice knowing that people kind of see me and people like I guess I would say I'm like kind of making an impact in some sort of way. So I think that's very fulfilling.
And that's a great answer. And also, I want to mention any influences on you in the ring.
Um, well, Sasha, or sorry, don't cancel me. Mercedes,
Yes.
Bailey, and Kylie Ray. But also, so I always talk about those three, because like I said, like they are like the trunk, like the tree trunk, right? But also Randy Orton too. And I'm not sure if you're able to see it in my work, but brother, I love me some Randy Orton. I watch a lot of his matches. I study a lot of Randy Orton as well. I study a lot of Adam Priest as well. Do you know Adam Priest?
I've only seen him a couple of times. I know
Yeah.
he's from the Tennessee, right, area, I believe.
Yeah, he's from Alabama.
Alabama, right. So he's still from down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him. I think I've seen him live maybe once or twice.
Oh my God, it is a treat. It is an absolute treat. And what I love about him is that anytime I watch him live, I feel like almost a fan again. And like I'm always a fan of wrestling, but it I caught myself one time saying, "Oh my God, like I want to do something like that." And I don't know, he's the man, and I watch a lot of his matches.
Yes.
So I would go out of my way to support Adam Priest. Um, he is the man. So yeah, Adam Priest for sure. And like I said, Shug D, Darian, Laney, like I study them pretty frequently, a lot.
Mhm.
I don't want to leave them out of the picture, but I do study them. So
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And then I'd like to just thank you again for being on the PWE report.
thank you.
And if there's anything you'd like to mention as well, go ahead in your social media and your merchandise.
Um, all of my social medias are under real MKZ Morgan. You can find me on TikTok too. Sometimes I just post random things on TikTok. Um, and yeah, be a good person. Talk to your neighbor, talk to a stranger, smile and wave at people. If someone is walking past you, say excuse me. And just overall, just be a good person, be the good in the
Mhm.
world. It's always nice to strike up conversation with people, because you'll never know what you'll get out of it. Um, and if you want to buy a shirt, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and just
All
look
right.
at Mackenzie Morgan and just support indie wrestling, support all wrestling. And again, just don't be negative. Don't be negative, Nancy. Be positive, Polly.
Yes. Yeah, I know we still have other stuff to talk about too, so I'll have to get you on again. You know,
Absolutely, yeah.
we never mentioned Nixie excess, but she's one of the your opponents that you're not too quite fond of.
Yeah.
And I got to see you and her in a couple matches on YouTube. But we've also get to see you against like Queen Aminata and Billy Starks,
Yeah.
ROH, short, very short matches, but people can check you out, and those are awesome exposure for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta give my weight up with Aminata. She like German suplex me. It was very
Jeez.
humiliating.
And then she does that, she does that move, right? The kick into the corner,
Yeah.
running kick, and then she does the kind of like, I don't know, like she uses her butt.
Yeah. The
But
hip
so
attack.
both of those, the hip attack, both of those, she used that against Sky Blue, and people all over the internet thought that she injured Sky Blue, like they thought it was real,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, it was real, but you know, I mean, it wasn't like they thought she gave her a concussion.
Oh, please. She
Which
lays it
didn't happen.
in. That'll be the first one to tell you she lays it in. My
Yeah.
brain was scrambled. You know, and like my lip got busted a little bit. And thank God it wasn't like a fat lip, but
Right.
she lays it in. So I learned that I have to get my weight up for real with that girl. So
Yes, for sure. And I appreciate you again. Best of luck next weekend, your next event. Happy
thank you.
birthday to your father, and
Thank you.
hope they have a wonderful weekend. And before I let you go, can you just do me a quick favor and do a quick shout out for my podcast? I'm going to stop this recording
Yeah.
and I'll start a new one. Okay.